Hello everyone, welcome back to JF Geo Academy YouTube channel. So in today's lecture the topic is seismology. Okay, seismology. So seismology is the study of earthquake, study of earthquake is called seismology. So it is a quite large topic. So I will cover the entire topic of seismology in maybe 2 to 3 lecture. Okay, so let's start our talk. So this is the introductory part I have written here. I have written the propagation of seismic disturbance through the earth is governed by the physical property such as density and by the way in which material of the earth's interior reacts to the disturbance. Okay, so this is the basic idea about the earthquake or seismology. The propagation of seismic disturbance is mainly governed by the physical property. This is the key term, physical property, like density, and by the way the material behave in the earth's interior material, by the way in which the material of the earth's interior react to the disturbance. How the earth's interior is reacting to the disturbance is dealt by the seismology. Now next important point is here I have written in the introductory part. Material within the seismic surface suffers permanent deformation. Means the material which lie within the seismic surface must suffer permanent deformation. That is, there will be no elastic deformation. It will suffer permanent deformation. But outside the surface, the passage of the seismic disturbance takes place predominantly by the elastic displacement of the medium, and in the outside the source, that is the earthquake occurs, and when it reaches to the outside the source, when it reaches to the surface, it will lead to the elastic displacement. That is, no permanent deformation will be there. Okay, so now here the property of material I have taken, which is on rheological basis, which I have mentioned in the previous lecture, and this I want to recommend two book like Haken-Fossen and William Lowry. Haken-Fossen for structural geology and William Lowry for geophysics. Okay, so here I have written what is the elastic behavior of material. So let's start. So when a force is applied to a material, it deforms. This means the material displaced from their original position, provided the force does not exceed a critical value. The displacement are reversible. The particle of the material return to their original position when the force is removed. So this part is important. The particle of material return to their original position when the force applied is removed, and there will be no permanent deformation will occur there. This is called elastic behavior. Now here you don't have to by heart or remember, but remember the point, understand the point, and you don't go for rectification. Don't try to rattamar like study. Okay, just took the point and fit in your mind. There will be no permanent deformation here, and the particle will return to the original position when the force is removed. Okay, and there it must have it doesn't exceed the critical value. Here which I have written in my own words, easy word, so that it will be easy for you to understand. So here don't go for rectification, just note down the point and fit in your mind. Okay. So now I am going to take an experiment. Look here, this is a cylindrical block of cross sectional area A. Okay, this is the cross sectional area A having length h. This is the h, the length of the block is h. Now I am stretching this with a force, with an applied force F, Now it's stretched to this much value, Now it was H, now it is H plus del H. So it stretched to a value del H this much. Now it in the experiment we have shown this is an elastic deformation. That means when the force is removed, it back to the original position. Now here I have observed that the applied force F is directly proportional to H. F is directly proportional to del H. That means when the applied force is greater, del H will be greater, and del H is inversely proportional to H open A. This is the H and this is the A, and it is inversely proportional to this much del H. Okay. Now by solving these two, we got the formula F by A is directly proportional to del H by H. Now look here, when A becomes infinitely small, when A becomes very small, the limiting value of the force per unit area is called stress. So this is the stress when the area is very small, when F will be very small, this is called the stress. The force per unit area we call the stress. And second point is when H is very small, when H will be very small, the fractional change in dimension, that is del H by H, this is a fractional change, del H by H is the fractional change of this block, of the cylindrical block, then this is called strain. Now look here, I have written this is the stress, is directly proportional to strain. So this is basically the Hooke's law. So Hooke's law states that within elastic limit, stress must be proportional to strain. Now let's go into detail of a graphical illustration of the Hooke's law. Stop. क्या हो इसको हो तो गया जी शुरू. So Hooke's law, within elastic limit, stress is directly proportional to strain. So Hooke's law forms the basis of elasticity. Okay, Hooke's law forms the basis of elasticity. Hooke was a scientist and he introduced elasticity. Now here I have illustrated a graph. So when the force will increase del H, the change of the stretching will also increase. So this is the Hooke's law. When force is increasing, del H is also increasing. Look here, suppose this is 1 2 3 4, this is 5 10 15. So when the force is 5, del H is 2. When it is 10, it is 5. When it is 15, it is 4, like that, so and so on. Okay, so this is basically the Hooke's law. Now you know the difference between stress and the pressure. What is the difference between stress and pressure? So here I have written some points so that the concept of stress and pressure will be clear. So internal resistant force to the deformation per unit area is the stress. So when the force is internally acting, when the force applied is internal, due to this the stress is generated. Now what is pressure? Amount of force applied per unit area. This is simply how much force we are applying per unit area is the pressure. Now strain will not develop pressure. Stress never develop pressure, but due to pressure, stress is generated. It develops stress. Pressure develops stress. And stress will may be positive or negative, but pressure is always positive. And stress is internally developed, and pressure is pressure exerted externally. So it is internal property, it is external property of material. Now it may be tensile, stress may be tensile, shear or compressive, tensile or shear, but in case of pressure, pressure is always compressive. Now pressure is a scalar quantity. That means it will have only magnitude. It will have no direction. But stress is a tensor quantity. Now what is the tensor quantity? Now let me erase this first. Tensor quantity. Okay. Tensor. So you know tensor quantity is represented in matrix form. like x, y, z, a, b, c, f, e, f, g, like this. Tensor is represented by this. There will be 3, 3, 6, 9 quantities, and like stress is a scalar quantity, which is it will have only magnitude and have no direction, but tensor have 3 quantity, like physical quantity, like it will have magnitude plus direction plus point of application of force, point of application of force. Okay, so when the magnitude and direction, when a quantity possesses magnitude and direction, it is called a vector quantity. When it possesses only magnitude, it is called scalar quantity. And when it has a magnitude plus direction plus point of application of force, we call this a tensor quantity. Okay. Now take a screenshot. This is the end of the lecture. In the next class, we will discuss what is a brittle, what is inelastic. Inelastic, we already discussed elastic material, and brittle material, ductile material we will discuss in our next lecture. And we will switch to the earthquake waves and types of earthquake waves, and we will then do some numerical for the concept clearance. Now, if you have not subscribed our Telegram channel, I have given link in the description box. You can join our Telegram channel also. Other faculties are going to join the channel soon, so stay tuned with the channel. Thank you for your patience.